Anywhere new? Perhaps you've hit a plateau that has you asking, is this it? Have you accomplished all you've set out to do in life and are not feeling as fulfilled as you thought you would? It is normal at midlife to reassess what's working for you and what's not. It's also normal to want to reclaim your time, your energy, and your joy. Let's make the best out of the second half of our lives by having more fun, experiencing more peace, and feeling more joy. If any of this resonates with you, then this podcast is for you. I'm Megan Bayles Bartley. Now let's get ready to shift our shit. Hello there, and welcome back to episode 8 of season 4. I'm Megan Bayles Bartley, hosting Shifting Our Shit, the SOS podcast. I'm so glad you're here to join us. Today we're going to be talking about exercise 6 in the book Reset that I have written, which is 6 powerful exercises to refocus your attention on what works for you and release what doesn't. And I've written this book specifically in a way that even if you peruse it, you will get something from it. So I want this book to set you up for success no matter how you choose to use it. There's no formulaic way that will help you be successful with this, because only you know what you need in this moment. So maybe you need something different right now that you'll need a week from now, or a month from now, or a year from now, or a decade from now. So this is just a resource, something to be thinking about. But today we are talking about setting yourself up for success. Now, who doesn't want that, right? I think a lot of times we hear this idea of, I'm getting in my own way. So this is another extension. We've talked the last couple episodes about different ways, looking at mindset and our own self-talk and how we might block ourselves from accomplishing certain things. And today we're going to talk a little bit more about that as well. So before we start, we're going to really talk about affirmations today and how we talk to ourselves in the affirmative, right? So our subconscious believes whatever we tell it, okay? So our subconscious believes whatever we tell it. So if we have a constant negative self-talk, we are feeding our subconscious a negative view of ourselves. Our subconscious doesn't know any different. If we change that and do it a bit differently and talk to ourselves a little bit more positively or a little bit in the affirmative, then our subconscious begins to believe that. So affirmations are tricky because oftentimes we want to word affirmations in the present as if they've already happened. So, we've talked about, what do you want to accomplish this year? So whatever your goal is for this year, or your theme is for this year, how do we put some affirmative statements in place so that it is almost as if it's already happened? I have geeked out over quantum physics. I don't understand a lot of it, but what I do understand is in the realm of quantum physics, there is really no time or space. So it is sort of this thing of, if you can think of something that you want, there is an element of perhaps it has already happened. It just hasn't manifested, if you will, in the physical. So what we're utilizing is this idea of talking in a way that this thing has already happened. And I'm going to share some really personal ways that I have done this throughout my own life that has just been a little too eerie to think that this isn't a real thing that could happen, because it's worked for me. And I've used these exercises in this book to pretty much get, where I'm going or what I want out of life. So part of this is using a phrase as if something has already happened now, an affirmation, kind of like a mantra, if you will, of, I am successful. Phrasing anything in the I am is really powerful instead of I want or I will, because when you phrase it in the future tense, then you are kind of continually pushing the thing away from you because you haven't done it yet. Now, very interestingly and timely, I'm in a group right now that we're using some of these exercises, and the instructor talked about if you have a really, really, really hard time wrapping your head around talking to yourself in this way because you really can't believe that this thing is possible, you can use some phrasing in front of your affirmation. So, some of the affirmations I use are, I love and accept myself. So no matter where you're at in life, where, you've accomplished things you want to accomplish, you haven't accomplished those things, we are shifting this idea of beating yourself up for not being where you want to be to really being kind and gentle with yourself, because that's really important with these affirmations, because these are positive, these are affirming you, not negating you or being critical of you. So very simple affirmation is, I love and accept myself. Think about this. You might not feel that right now. You might really want to love and accept yourself. So if once a day for a month, a year, 6 months, however long you decide, you say to yourself, I love and accept myself. Think about what message that sends to your subconscious. Your subconscious will begin to believe it. Your subconscious will start thinking like, oh, I love and accept myself. So no matter what weight you're at or where you're at in your career or how much money you make, whatever your goal might be, you are going to be loving and accepting of yourself. Does that make sense? And when we start to lay that foundation of being loving and accepting of ourselves, we can build from there to really get to the place where we want to be. If we want to do bigger things with our careers, or we want to make more money, or we want to be more fit, or whatever the thing might be, it's a good foundation to have a really positive self-talk of, I love and accept myself. Now, in this book, one of the things I have participants do is get out your phone, open up the calendar app, and pick a day that you're going to enter this affirmation in. And it could be maybe a special day, your birthday, like mine's on the 24th. So I have a couple affirmations on the 24th because that's an important day of the month for me. And then I repeat it every month. So, for me, it's kind of more of a reminder. If you wanted to do it weekly, you could also do that weekly. But reminding myself that I love and accept myself, right, is helpful to see that pop up on my calendar at what I feel like are random times. But it's like, yeah, I do love and accept myself. And so it might be a bit of a challenge at first. So adding a phrase beforehand of, I am capable of loving and accepting myself, or I trust that I'm capable of loving and accepting myself, is kind of a little bit of a little bit removed from I actually right now love and accept myself. Or you can add a statement of like, I'm curious about loving and accepting myself. So that I'm open to loving and accepting myself. So maybe you don't believe and you're having a really hard time doing that present tense sort of statement or affirmation. And so adding a little bit of phrasing before that doesn't negate it and doesn't push it away, but it creates an openness or a curiosity. Or you could add like, what if I loved and accept myself? Wouldn't it be nice if I loved and accept myself, right? So thinking through some phrasing of, you know, what feels best to you. If you really can't do that present tense, I love and accept myself, that statement. You're not asking a question. You're not asking for something I want, I need. You're just saying, this is, I love and accept myself. Okay, so another phrase that I like to use, and I highly recommend you use that affirmation, I love and accept myself, because that's the whole point of all of this, right? Is like we can really achieve whatever we want when we're in this positive mind space and we're feeding ourselves and nurturing ourselves in positive ways. When we're, kind of not curious and not hopeful and not in a sort of growth mindset, then it's going to be really hard to achieve new things or to create new things. So this is part of the exercises, is how we open ourselves up to receiving the things that we are going for, that we want to see physically show up in our lives. Okay. So another phrase I like, I've used these all for years, is life is fun and easy. So life might not be fun and easy right now. I've also used the phrase work is fun and easy, or work feels like play. Maybe even life feels like play. I historically have had a hard time with playing. I tend to be more of a serious person, or have known myself to be historically pretty serious and, focused. And sometimes I have had to learn over the years how to be more playful, how to be more relaxed, how to just enjoy where I'm at in the moment instead of always going for and driving and striving for something, which we will talk about in the next episode. So stay tuned for that, because I'll share some personal experiences with you, and maybe even a little bit about where I'm at right now and where I see myself going in my future. As we are doing these exercises, I'm doing them along with you. So I have learned from them again and again and again. So finding an important date in your calendar, opening up your calendar app on your phone, and maybe choosing a special number, a date, that's a special number to you. Maybe it's an anniversary number, or a kiddo's birthday date. So just doesn't matter. No right or wrong, good or bad here. Choosing a date that you can put in the affirmation, life is fun and easy. Saving it. Maybe you repeat it monthly. So every month on that date, you're reminded, life is fun and easy. Or you could do it weekly. I mean, whatever works for you. I'm a big fan of sticky notes. I use sticky notes all the time. I really like pen and paper. And I will write affirmations on sticky notes and place them in specific places that I'm able to look at them for, a few seconds or so, like in my car as I'm driving, I might have a sticky note there that says life is fun and easy, or I love and accept myself. At the microwave when I'm waiting to heat up some food, at the bathroom mirror as I'm brushing my teeth, having these reminders that just sort of connect with my subconscious to say, I love and accept myself. Life is fun and easy. So there may be other phrasing that if you're really going for something specific this year, you've got a theme and you really want to accomplish that theme, you may think about what the affirmation, the sentence might be to accomplish that theme. Some questions I ask in the book are, what else do you need or want to be affirmed of, right? Like, I am okay exactly where I'm at, or I thrive in each new moment, or something that really resonates with you. What other affirmations could be helpful to me? Maybe you need some time to think about this and just let it percolate. And perhaps in the next few hours or days or weeks, you'll think, oh, you know what I could really, be useful to hear would be, you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work, right? Because even if you feel like you're not doing a great job right now, with some time, your subconscious starts to connect with, you know what, I really am doing a pretty good job here. And oftentimes it takes, 21 to 30 days to build a new habit, if you will. So I usually tell people, expect or see, be curious about 21 to 30 days of doing these affirmations daily. Doesn't take very long to read a sticky note that's in your car or at the bathroom mirror. I even have taken a practice, and I'll talk about this more in our next episode, of journaling my affirmations before bed. It takes me less than 5 minutes, but I physically write down the affirmations that I am sort of steeping myself in for this time, this year, if you will, so that I'm connecting, the physical piece of writing it down with thinking about it, with feeling about how it will feel when that actually happens, right? Because I can't necessarily control the timing of when something clicks or when the thing gets accomplished or whatever that might be. So I have to trust that I'm putting this energy out there because this is what I'm going for, and that it will happen at some point, and I'm going to optimize myself, be open, be curious, be affirming, so that I'm in the best space to be receiving of that thing. Yeah. So perhaps you're already thinking of an affirmation that connects with you, and you want to write your specific affirmations in your calendar for this year. Maybe it's a daily thing that pops up every day. You might think like, oh, there's that thing again. But your subconscious will connect with it the more you see it. So those sticky notes at your desk, at your computer, in the car, bathroom mirror, all those things are really do make a difference. And your family or people might say, hey, what's that? And then you can tell them, or you can say, oh, that's just a thing I'm experimenting with. Because this is all an experiment, right? We're making everything up as we go. We have never lived this point in our lives before, right? So everything that we're doing, we are making it up as we go. So the idea is to be intentional about what it is you want your life to look like. And the more we get sort of specific of like, what do I want right now? What am I going for this year or in the next couple months? Because the more concentrated you think about that in a positive way, the more likely you will see that show up. So hopefully this was helpful for you. This was our last exercise. And in our next episode, I'm going to share with you some personal stories about how I've used this exercise and what I'm learning about these exercises as I'm going through this with you at this time. So join me. If you want to find out more about me, you can look me up online, mindfulness-center.com, or sign up for our free book giveaway. You can win your own free copy of Reset by visiting our website as well. Take care.